What's up, riders? Old Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. Well, I get a question almost every day, and that is, what on earth is a Harley rider doing on a Himalayan? Answer's quite simple. Stay tuned. Well, I guess I should preface the video by saying that I've had a lot of different types of motorcycles in my life, but the constant has always been a Harley Davidson. I really love them. I love the way they feel. I love the culture. I love pretty much everything about Harley Davidson except the price, which is why I very seldom, and I can only count on my hand twice how many times I've ever bought a brand new Harley. The Harleys you see in our garage right now and in the videos, it's kind of a rough road here, are ones that I had bought used really cheap. Some of them were barely rideable. In particular, the Sportster 1200, that thing was not rideable, and I bought it for really a cheap price. I mean, it's embarrassing how low the price I got for it. But I had to rebuild everything on it, which you've seen in the videos. I put a lot of information about that 1200C, which is now 1250C actually. But that's what I do. I buy inexpensive Harley Davidsons and then rebuild them, make them mine, and then either sell them or keep them like I've got right now. That way I don't have a lot of money out. I mean, like I said, I love the brand, but the reality of it is they're hyper expensive, and this old guy who works in a food truck don't really have that kind of cash to buy new ones. So I would love to. I mean, of course, you know, I'd love to have a, you know, brand new Chevy or Ford 4x4 pickup truck too. I got a 2008 that I bought used, but as far as a brand new one, no, there's no way. I mean, I just don't make that kind of money. People think, well, you got a lot of motorcycles, you must make a lot of money. No, that's not true. You can buy inexpensive motorcycles and you can make them your own. The only problem with this that I've seen is it kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. I started this channel just a month and a half, 2 months ago, maybe 3 at the most, and most of the builds I've got on the Harleys are already done, and it's kind of like, wow, I wish particularly for last year when I rebuilt the Sportster, the 1200, that would have been a great video series of rebuilding it, but alas, I didn't have the channel at the time. It took I took guys like Shade Tree Surgeon and Flip Gnaw and Blockhead and a local girl here called Her Two Wheels to convince me that I should maybe do this. In fact, I sent a message to Her Two Wheels right before I started the channel asking her some advice, and she goes, and I think her exact words were, man, she says, you've got enough stuff in your you know, in your pocket that you could make videos to last forever. I said, well, that's kind of true, but it's also not, because I've bought, you know, I really am not in the market to buy another Harley Davidson right at this minute to rebuild. And so that's the only downside that I see. Like I said, I really wish I would have had the channel when I rebuilt the 1200, because you'd have actually loved me seeing it, take it down to the frame, sandblast everything, powder coat everything, rebuild the engine, repaint the thing. And again, I was going to do a really total custom job on it, and then I decided to put it back almost stock, but yet make it my own. Which brings me to, why in the world am I riding a Himalayan? Well, I'll tell you. If you've watched the channel and seen my other Himalayan videos, you know that I'm planning on doing the Trans-America Trail. Well, it takes a little bit of preparation for that, and you have to have the right bike for that too. I'm not riding a stock Harley on the Trans-America Trail, because particularly unless it's set up as a scrambler style, you're going to tear it up. It just is not made for that. It don't have the ground clearance. In fact, it's kind of funny, just a month and a half ago, I was out with the wife and daughter, and we were riding the Road King, and everybody wanted a glass of water, including myself in particular. So I pulled off into a place, and lo and behold, it had a really big dip that you couldn't see because it was in the shadows, and I bottomed out, you know, and it's like, that really peed me off, man, because now this winter I'm going to repaint it because of that reason, because I need to fix that frame in the bottom. It's not damaged except for superficial, but that kind of stuff drives me absolutely insane. I cannot stand to have scratches and stuff on my bike. And then this weekend we were out on a ride, a wife and I, and we went and we got there was a road that was turned from pavement to gravel because they're rebuilding it. It was about 6 or 7 miles long. Well, as I'm riding, I'm throwing rocks everywhere off the Road King, and of course it landed, a couple really good ones landed right on the tank, and you know what I'm trying to say, now I got this gigantic ding, not a dent, but a ding in the paint, which again, I'm upset, but I did plan on repainting the bike this winter anyways. Maybe this spring, I don't know, maybe I'll wait till next summer, I'm not sure, maybe wait till next winter, but I do really want to repaint it because now it's got a scratch on it and that drives me insane. I try to keep things as, you know, there's a lot of YouTubers out there, I won't mention any names, Adam Sandoval, that don't wash their bikes. To me, I think that's a critical point, and I'm not making fun of him or anything. That's a critical point in maintenance of the bike. You can really tell when things are, yeah, let's go down this gravel road. We're on the Himalayan by all means. But you can really tell what's going on with your motorcycle by taking it and washing it and getting it clean. Now, you see this gravel road right here? I really don't want to ride my Road King on this. Which brings me to the point of why I've got the Himalayan. The Trans-America Trail, you're going to need a new or a certain style of bike. And when I actually, go there, Chipmunk. When I actually got this bike, I wasn't in the market for one. My plan was to take, and I think I mentioned this before, my plan was to take a 883 and put an extra oil cooler on it and jack it up a little bit and make a scrambler out of it and then dodge it up with all kind of cool stuff, so I could do the Trans-America Trail with it. But this came available and I stole this motorcycle. I mean, literally stole it. Well, not literally, because I'd be in jail. But I really got a great deal on it for about a third of the price with a brand new one. And the thing only had 11 miles on it. So, I mean, holy Toledo. And that's, to me, that was a bargain that I could not pass up. And so I didn't. Montgomery Road, where are we? Well, we'll find out. Let's see down here. So that's why I decided to buy the Himalayan, because I can actually take it on the Trans-America Trail. Then lo and behold, I started riding it. And I'll tell you, this thing is frickin' fun. I mean, I can sit there and give you all kind of technology and numbers and stuff like that, and you know what would be better, this or that and the other thing. When it all boils down to it, this bike is probably more fun than any motorcycle I've ridden since I was a kid, and it gives me a smile every time I'm on it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love riding my Road King, you know, especially long distance and stuff like that, crushing miles. I love running the Deluxe. It's fun in the corners and things of that nature. I really love riding my Sportster and the wife's 883 iron. That's a blast as well too. But the reality of it is, this bike can do anything those can do except the highway. I mean, it can do the highway. You guys watched the video. Hey, kitty cat, what are you doing? You guys watched the video and you know that it's possible of doing the highway. It's just, it struggles a little bit, and you know, that's not fair to the bike. I mean, I hate to say it that way. Like when I go out to Cape Hatteras, I'll be taking mostly, I don't want to say back roads so much, but I'll be taking roads that are not 70 miles an hour. I'll be riding on roads that are more of 55. Take me a little bit of time to get there, but again, I don't want to tear my stuff up before I get to the trail. I mean, that's what the key is. You need to make sure that your stuff's in good order. And, you know, this kind of bike here can handle all these kind of things. In fact, we're going to stand up here because it's a little bumpy, and I literally have the ability to stand up. Now, all my Harleys are forward controls, and you get better handling, there's no doubt about it, with mids. You can, which is what this bike is. You can grip the tank a little bit better and throw your weight around a little bit easier with the mids, and it's a lot of fun as well too. But the forward controls are more for comfort as far as really long distance. Now I have highway bars on my Road King, and I switch back and forth when I go really long rides. But as far as this bike and what it's capable of doing, it's capable of doing anything the Harleys will, plus. Which means that it's able to do just like you've seen us come through that gravel road. Now, a Harley can do it. I proved it this weekend by going 3 or 4 miles on that gravel road that was being reconstructed, and it was rough, I'm telling you. It was rough. However, I was able to do it. Now, it wasn't fun, and I couldn't do the speeds I'm doing on this bike. I mean, this bike here can do 45, 50 mile an hour on those gravelly roads like that, where the Road King, I'm making sure that I'm not getting myself in trouble. But the reality of it is, this bike is a blast. And so when somebody asked me the question, why in the world is a Harley guy on a Himalayan? Because it's fun. And there's another couple reasons too. It's inexpensive. I don't want to say cheap. I don't know if it's cheap yet. The reason why I say is, well, you know, I don't know much about Royal Enfield. I know they had a bad history, and then I know they have a great history. So I'm hoping this is a great history bike. But the reality of it is we won't know how well it'll hold up until it holds up. You know, the old saying is, you don't know till you know. And as soon as I know, you'll know. Because that's what it's all about. And I will do a 1,000-mile review, and then I'm also going to do a Trans-America Trail review of actually how she held up during the rigors of that off and on-road route across America. And I'm excited about that. That thing's going to be so much fun. And like I said, it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime for me. If I was 30, it'd probably be a 3 or 4 in a lifetime for me, but I'm over 60, so it'll be a once-in-a-lifetime for me. Because my Harleys, I never even thought about doing it before, because my Harleys couldn't have done it. I mean, there's no way. It could not have done it. And now, I've traveled across the country before in my Harleys. I've been to California like 9 times, up to Alaska, down into Mexico and stuff of that nature with motorcycles. But the reality of it is, those are all highways or back roads, country roads and that type of thing. It wasn't off-road. And that's why this will be an adventure that is totally necessary for this style of bike. And, you know, other adventure bikes out there, you know, there are quite a few on the market. You've got, you know, you've got the BMWs, and you've got the KTMs, and you've got the Ducatis, and you've got pretty much any brand, Honda. You can insert your favorite brand of motorcycle, and they have an adventure style bike. Even Harley Davidson's got one coming out. We went to gravel here in Chip and Seal, if you haven't guessed, if you looked at the road surface. But the reality of it is, those bikes are way too expensive. This thing here, brand new, this bike is right under $5,000. That's brand new. And that'll tell you approximately how much I paid for this by telling you that I paid a third or less of what the original price was, and it had 11 miles on it. So the amount of equipment that I'm going to stack up on it, as far as the panniers and the crash bars and the electronics I'm going to use, because I really am going to need a GPS. I've tried to use my GPS phone and plan a route, and I wanted a specific route in it this week when we were doing our trip. And as soon as I made one off turn to go to a place that looked really cool, then the computer reset itself and took me completely off my route. And I don't want that. Now, maybe somebody can help me in the comments. If you know how to make Google Maps follow the route that you put into it, please let me know, because I have no freaking idea. And so I got, not that it got lost, it's just that I was mad because it didn't take me to the route that I had planned. And I don't remember names of roads. I probably should, but I need a specific route, and I know that the Garmin's will save those specific routes. In fact, there's a guy called GPS Kevin that I'm getting some maps from, that has this little program that you can plug into your Garmin, and it'll for the Trans-America Trail, it'll remember that and keep you on the route, which is really important to me. I want to maintain a certain route, and to do that, you know, you have to have the right machinery. Now, I'm not saying that the Google Maps on your phone won't do it. I just don't know how. So like I say, if you know how to do that, put that down in the comments. I'd really like to know how to work that, because, dude, I mean, I have a hard time with the fuel injection, to be honest with you. I depend on a friend of mine to help me with that when I'm doing fuel injection stuff, and he's probably the best Harley mechanic in, if not Ohio, at least Central Ohio. His name's Kelly, up at Republic Cycles, and he really knows his stuff. In fact, the Harley dealers in the area, whether it's No Cages or 80 Faro or Finks or whoever it is, bring their stuff to Kelly when they can't figure it out. He used to work for 80 Faro back in the day, and he has his own place now called Republic Cycles, and the guy knows his stuff. So he does all my electronic work, because I ain't got a clue. I'm a points and plugs guy. So it's just, he does not work on Royal Enfields. So I have a dealer for that, that I'm setting up a relationship with. In fact, you're going to see them in a later video. I'm actually taking the bike over for the first major service, because the bike is still in warranty. The guy that bought this bought it in early June, and then didn't want it anymore. And I think he was kind of a rich guy, because he was able to turn it over for a really good price. And hey, I'm happy. I like buying stuff like that. Well, I hope you get an idea of why this Harley guy is riding a Himalayan. It's because, not that I don't love my Harleys, I do. I just, like, the new Pan American will be crazy expensive. This bike is not. And to be honest with you, I am in love with this motorcycle. This thing is a simple riot to ride. It handles beautiful. It goes through the corners. It'll take any road that I want to go on. Now, if you guys remember the Can She Take It video where I took it on dirt and really heavy gravel, you'll see how well she handled that as well too. But right now we're just riding some backcountry roads, going from chip and seal gravel to you know, limited access road, not limited access, but limited traffic roads, and you can kind of get a feel for how she's actually doing. She does great. This is a fantastic motorcycle for this kind of stuff. I mean, that's what you have to understand too. I live in the country. I do not live in town, and so my driveway is up a hill and a quarter-mile long and all really heavy gravel. And it's a pucker moment just taking the Harleys in and out of the driveway sometimes. I know my daughter likes me to drive her motorcycle down to at least halfway off of the really sharp hills, so she doesn't drop it. She's a little afraid of that. But like I mentioned before, I try to keep telling her just let the bike go where she wants and put in just enough stuff in the handlebars to guide it to where you want it to go. But let her go where she wants to go, because in the gravel, that's how you do it. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notifications, share, and comment. You know, I read all the comments and I try to comment on all the comments. Until next time, ride safe and keep her on two wheels, baby.